Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. With me Muhammad Azrul Adli bin Muhammad Rusli, and today we will talk about Shi'ah and Rehabilitation. Our group members is myself, Muhammad Azrul Adli bin Muhammad Rusli, and Muhammad Akmal bin Muhammad Nasir, Muhammad Fakr Solihin bin Ahmad Haris, and Muhammad Ahmad Zarif bin Ahmad Rizal. So now let's get into the introduction. Shia is one of the biggest and the oldest deviant sect of Islam in the world. Although Shia, known as minority in Islam, as globally constitute about 10% of the total Muslim, the number of 200 million of Shiites is undoubtedly a significant and large number. Vividly popular in Middle East, Shia is openly practiced in several countries such as Iran and Yemen. Unlike other Middle Eastern countries, Malaysia recognizes Shia as a deviant sect and prohibited to be taught and spread in Malaysia. In addition, one of the practice Shi'ah will be convicted under Sharia law. The problem statement for this study is the high global number of people that still get influenced by Shi'ah deviant teaching reflected a huge amount of people are still lack of knowledge about Shi'ah and the deviant teachings. Hence, chance people to get deviated is very high. Although known as deviant teaching and considered as wrongdoing by the law, Malaysia today still did not have the most suitable method and technique to rehabilitate the deviant one of Shia. In other words, Malaysia is still in finding phase of the way to stop Shia influence. The first question for the study is, first, what is the definition of Shia deviant teaching? And second, how to rehabilitate from Shia deviant teaching? The research objective for the study is, first, to identify the definition of Shi'ah deviant teaching and to analyze the technique of rehabilitation from Shi'ah deviant teaching. So in completing this study, researchers have used library information science research methodology. The information that has been collected based on this methodology is through literature review such as books, texts, articles, and resources such as websites and blogs. Source of information included in the writing are cited using the author-date system in USIM style. In accordance with the text of the study, this methodology can help to better understand the study and achieve the objective of the study.
Next, Shi'ah. The history of Shi'ah. The establishment of Shi'ah is the earliest effort founded since the appointment of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as Caliph after the death of the Messenger of God, even though at the same time the Shi'ah had not been revealed and recognized as a politic sect of faith. After the reign of Caliph Sayyidina Ali, several wars occurred. Among them is the War of Siffin and the War of Karbala, where it has led to the establishment of the Shi'ah sect and the emergence of the Shi'ah sect divisions such as Al-Imamiyah, Al-Isna Ashariyah, Al-Azadiyah, Al-Ismailiyah, and Al-Qullah. The teachings of Shi'ah. Firstly, Muta'ah marriage. Shi'ah encourages their followers to perform Muta'ah marriage. It is because the Muta'ah marriage is very demanded as a priority in Shi'ah teachings, and the advantages if the Muta'ah marriage were performed is that the sins of the woman who as Muta'ah will be forgiven, and even whoever performs Muta'ah marriage will easily go to heaven. The next prayer of Shi'ah. Shi'ah make 3 times prayer that are allowed for them, namely the Jama' Zuhur prayer with Asr, the Jama' of Maghrib prayer with Isha, and the Suh prayer. Then Friday prayer is not obligatory on the Shi'ah. This is because they consider the Friday prayer as an option to either perform the obligatory Friday prayer or perform the Zuhur prayer, and the Friday prayer is invalid if it is not performed by Prophet or an infallible Imam who leads the prayer. And the Ashura Day in Shi'ah, the Ashura Day is where the mourn by celebrating on a large scale to commemorate the death of Imam Hussein bin Ali, the child of Caliph Ali and the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad. Shi'ah practice the mourning over Hussein death, holding mourning ceremonies, wearing all black clothes and hurting themselves, such as hitting themselves and slapping their cheeks. Next is the issues of Aqidah in Shi'ah. The first pillars of Shi'ah faith. the pillars of faith from the Shi'ah, with only 5 in faith contradict with the pillars of faith in Islam. The first pillar is At-Tawhid, believing in Allah. Second, Al-Adl is believing in the justice of Allah. Third, An-Nubuwah, which is believing in the Prophet. Fourth, Al-Ma'ad, which is believing in the Day of Judgment. And the last pillar of the Shi'ah faith with is Al-Imamah, which is believing in the Imam. Second, Shia practice the principle of taqiyah. The taqiyah is done when they face difficulties, that is, they pretend by practicing deception and twisting to achieve the desired goal. The taqiyah aims to protect oneself from danger and to avoid the exposure of the true identity of Shia too. And the last, Shia view on the Quran. Shia thinks that the existing Quran has been added and subtracted to so they have doubts about the Quran, and even they hold fast to the opinion of the Imams because it is the main source used. They are disappointed because the Imamate, which is the political leadership of the Ahlul Bayt, is not mentioned in the Quran.
Okay, now we continue to the next chapter, which is the rehabilitation to recover the Shiite doctrines. So, the first method is deradicalization. The main purpose of this program is to rehabilitate a person that is associated with extremist belief, for example, Shia. It works on killing the old thoughts and beliefs which are extreme and radical. It involved many parties, including the government, non-government, organization, scholars and religious scholars, and former terrorists and their family members. The second method is counseling support. So, counseling support is to ensure that their mental state is always in good condition. It is very important because a patient with a mental disorders is likely to dampen the rehabilitation process and could spoil the process, because a bad mental state is capable of having a negative effect on patient both internally and externally.
In conclusion, we can conclude that Shiah teaching are banned in Malaysia and being declared as heresy since 1996. This is due to the Shiah doctrine that obviously opposed to the teaching of Al-Sunnah wal Jama'ah with various forms of heresy in terms of Aqidah and Sharia. The effort of rehabilitation of Shiah doctrine in Malaysia is expected to be applied to resolve other cases of heresy in Malaysia. In addition, Muslims should be aware of the importance of protecting their faith so as not to engage in misleading practice or action.